شہر مدینہ یاد آیا ہے، وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے، عشق نبی میں دل گرما ہے، وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے، بیت اللہ کے چوکھٹ پر ہے دست دعا پھیلائے نبی، بیت اللہ کے چوکھٹ پر ہے دست دعا پھیلائے نبی، رب سے عمر کو مانگ رہا ہے، رب سے عمر کو مانگ رہا ہے، وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے، شہر مدینہ یاد آیا ہے، وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے، عشق نبی میں دل گرما ہے، وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے، شہر مدینہ یاد آیا ہے، وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے، عشق نبی میں دل گرما
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. We begin by praising Allah Azza wa Jal, and we thank Him that He has enabled us to sit here in His house as guests, as Duyufur Rahman, that we don't really deserve to be in His house really because of our conduct and because of our baggages that we have, and yet still He is so gracious to have us in His house. So to start off, inshallah, I'd like to call upon Imam Muhammad to come and recite some portion of the Quran, whichever part, but I thought it would be fitting that we start with Surah Al-Fatihah. So if Imam Muhammad, if you can please come and recite Surah Al-Fatihah for us to get started and to really absorb and delve into the topic that we'll be discussing.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
جزاكم الله خير. Allah bless you with those beautiful thought and beautiful voice. May Allah SWT beautify your voice even more as you recited. He has recited Surah Al-Fatihah, and can I just ask before we start, also sisters, you participate as well, is that have you all got wudu? Because our topic today is finding yourself in the Quran. So what we're going to do is the whole theme of our Itikaf is about Quran in motion. And as Imam Muhammad was saying to us earlier, that we made it like a melody just to recite nicely and beautifully, or like this Quran Majid will be in the shelf, we put in the shelf and we leave it there for whole of the 11 months and we only just open it to recite and that's it. Maybe, if we are lucky. Otherwise, it's just accumulating dust. That's what we're doing. So what I want to do today is, if you all have wudu, you're going to be in groups. I'm going to give you a copy of the tarjama of the Quran, translation of the Quran, and you are now going to find these verses. You are going to find the verses mentioned so that you can start now seeing and getting a connection with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent it for a reason. We're not understanding that it was not for Taraweeh. It was not for just hifz. It was not just for putting in the bookshelf. It wasn't just so it looks good or it looks nice. It was for a reason, and that's what we're going to delve into. Before I start, and sisters as well, you're listening as well attentively, and I appreciate the fact that we're not directly addressing yourself, but we are. Everybody's been addressed. But also sisters at home who are listening, if through YouTube and also here, is that every book has a subject. If it's a book on maths, it's going to be about maths, isn't it? If it's about sciences, it'll be about biology, chemistry, physics, or any other book. There's a mawdu, there's a topic, there's a subject that that book deals with. Now ask, my question to yourself is, what is the topic, what is the subject of the Quran? Have you ever thought of this? What is the subject, what is the topic of the Quran? That every other book, if you get a book, you know, oh, this is about, let's say, oh, this is about physics. Pick up this book, the topic of this book, this is about, let's say, AI. Pick up this book, this is about shares. Or pick up this book, this is about cryptocurrencies. What's the topic of the Quran? What is the subject that it's dealing with? What is the subject of the Quran? Now it's over to you. What do you think it is? So if you raise your hands, we'll get the microphone. And this is where if we were a bit more tech savvy, where Sheikh Abdul Rahim, he was saying that, well, obviously I don't want to take the thunder from his presentation. So inshallah, he'll be doing something more spontaneous. But here is where we could have seen some graphic illustrations saying whatever, but we didn't get time to that. We're old. We're not savvy like these people. So here we have to do the traditional way. You raise your hands and you tell us what you think. Okay, Sheikh Talha, yes. Sisters, you can put forward your answers on YouTube or Facebook, whatever it is, inshallah.
Is it Hidayah? Guidance?
Good, man. Very good answer. Very good. You will get some answers, inshallah. So we got one is Hidayah. Okay? That was answering with a question, which is very good. Is it Hidayah? So it's good, very good. Yes, Adil, mashallah, are you still okay now?
Yeah.
Mashallah. You see, this is the person who was defeated by this old person in table tennis, by the way. So he still remembers that when we went to retreat, that he still remembers. Who's the champion again?
You beat me once.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. We just who was the champion, by the way, that you all youngsters challenged me? Who was the champion again? Let's just.
You beat me once.
Thank you. That's okay. That's it. You all know now, don't you? That's fine. Okay. Yes, Adil. I'm not picking on you, but I'm just making sure that everybody knows. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. Inshallah.
Almost like a manual on how to live your life.
So you're saying the topic is manual. Okay. Manual how to live your life. Good. Okay. So people we got Hidayah, manual, how to live a life. What is the subject?
Code of life, code of conduct.
Code of life, very good, mashallah, yes.
How to succeed in life.
Very good, mashallah, how to succeed in life.
General about everything and anything in our life.
Mashallah, very good, yes.
say life.
So we've got nearly at least 6 answers live. Okay, go on. Very good.
I was going to say the same.
Oh, mashallah, you're just copying. Mashallah, very good. Professor
I
Lawana.
was going to say guidance as well, guidance for mankind.
So we've got 2 guidance and we've got 6 live. So if somebody just keep a count on this.
I think it's mistakes of what the previous people did
Very good.
versus what we should and what we shouldn't do.
Excellent. Getting a good answer.
He's just stolen my answer. A question.
It's amazing how
I was.
this is the only place when you get asked questions where telepathy works. You know, we don't believe it, but in here, yeah, I was going to ask that as well. How did he take my answer? I was going to ask that as well. But mashallah, very good.
In addition to what's been said already, I was going to say it discusses the qisas, the stories of the previous nations and prophets.
Good,
So
good. Mashallah. Yeah, you can pass it on, Aziz. Yes, inshallah.
It's a reminding.
Reminder. Okay, so we've got to keep account someone. Yes. Okay. Reminder. Remember is a reminder.
It's a book it's full of stories and history to take guidance from.
Mashallah. So the subject you're saying is stories. Okay, good.
Is it to teach us where we came from and our origination?
Mashallah, very good. Good answer.
The rule of life.
Mashallah.
The creation of Allah and guidance.
So one sister has mentioned is way of life. So any others, inshallah. So most of you are saying life and way of life. Go on, anybody else?
The subject is man and the purpose of life.
Okay, very good.
The subject is man and the purpose of life.
Oh, you just, you see how amazing this is? Yeah, now you're seeing it in live in action, how copy and paste works in an environment like this. It's very good. But Omar?
Rules and regulations.
Rules and regulations, very good.
I would say reflection on nature.
Okay, very good. Reflection, nature.
I would say the subject is Allah, but the purpose is for guidance. The purpose
Okay,
of the
very
book.
good. Subject is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, purpose guide. Okay.
Islamic science.
Okay, very good.
Distinguishes the truthhood from falsehood, and it's like a comfort, like Allah showing His love to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay, mashallah, very good.
It's a book of signs that all point to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ayat.
Mashallah, very good, very good. So we've got a few variants of answers now here. Come on.
Yeah, book of guidance.
Book of guidance.
I think it's to know who your Lord is. You know, they say the Quran can be summarized in Surah Fatihah, and the Surah Fatihah can be summarized in the first verse, and so on. And the first verse is all praise to Allah, Lord of the world. So to know your Lord and also what He expects from you, or what His command is, I guess.
But that's like a whole thing. What is the subject? To know Allah?
To know Allah.
Okay, that's the subject, to know Allah. Okay. We've got another answer here. Allah's words. Very good.
Guidance.
Guidance, okay. So we've got 4 guidances now. Okay, guidance.
The truth.
The truth. One is our truth, okay.
I was going to say a guidance to all mankind to keep you on the Siratul Mustaqim.
MashaAllah, very good. Just pass it behind you.
Guide on how to live your life.
MashaAllah. And now the guidance is increasing slowly with the life, and guidance is more or less the same now.
Tawheed.
Tawheed, very
Oneness
good.
of Allah.
MashaAllah.
The praise of Allah.
The praise of Allah, okay.
The greatness of Allah and the honor of His beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and for us to recognize both.
MashaAllah.
A guidance to get to the pleasure of Allah.
MashaAllah, very good.
Guidance on how to live your life.
MashaAllah. So now guidance and they're more or less equal. So the 2 prominent answers that we're getting is guidance and how to live your life.
Guidance for humankind.
Okay, so guidance. Now guidance is increasing. This one?
Navigation for the journey to Jannah.
MashaAllah, very good.
Guidance for humanity, how to achieve a successful life.
Very good, MashaAllah.
So to me, the Quran is a manual so that you will eventually be able to stand before Allah in Jannah and see His glorious face.
MashaAllah, beautiful answer. Just take it at the back. I think some brothers had their hands up. So we've got so far guidance, manual in terms of a life. That is the most prominent answers here.
I would say purpose.
Purpose, okay. Purpose also increasing a little bit.
The greatness of Allah and the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
MashaAllah, that's another. That's
So it's Tawheed and guidance.
very good, MashaAllah.
I'd say it's like a conversation and answer to every question.
Beautiful, MashaAllah, Jamil, very good.
The existence of Allah and about the prophets. Okay.
Rashid, you know, you don't want to be shy. But also, I've had a shower as well. I'm not smelling as well. So, inshallah, you can sit forward, mashallah, Rashid.
I think the subject is to understand the creator and the creation, explaining that, in the Quran, the subject, the creator and the creation.
Beautiful answer, mashallah. Good.
Assalamu alaikum. I'd say the subject is mankind.
Okay, mashallah. Just over here, we got Salahuddin.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
So the Quran is like a discussion and communication between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet, peace be upon him. The purpose, I think the subject is how to show us how to live and how to die.
Okay, mashallah, beautiful. And Sultan.
It's Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
MashaAllah, beautiful. So we've had a various answer, but if would you all agree that the most prominent answer was guidance and life, how to live your life, yeah? So now remember these two answers, prominent answers you said, is that you're saying that the topic of the Quran, the Mawdu' of Quran, which predominantly we're saying is guidance and also how to live your life. Shaykh Ahmad Dabbal, when they first revealed this to us, we were a bit shocked as well. Why? Because all that you're saying is correct. Every single one of you, the answer you gave is correct. But if you go down further up and narrow it down, really the mawdu' or the subject of the Quran is this: human being. Now everything that you're saying about guidance, manual, life, purpose, how to achieve it, pleasure of Allah, rida of Allah, honoring and praising the Prophet ﷺ, all these things that you said about every element, every aspect you're saying, is all about human being. It's not about him per se. It's about human being. That is a unique thing. This book that we've been sent, that has been revealed upon us, this kalam of Allah, the kalam and the book of Allah, all it is discussing is about human being. And now we're going to delve a bit more now. So first thing we got out of the head is that know that the subject of the mawdu' of the Quran is human being, and it will tell you, it will show us about purpose. It will tell you and give you hidayah. It will tell you about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will tell you about how to achieve this, how to achieve Jannah, how to refrain from hellfire, and so on. It will talk all of the things that you've all said, but the primary mawdu' is about human beings. Insan. Next question. Now what I want you to do is that take this, now groups of 5 or groups of 10, if you take one of these brothers, just take this brother, and if you think it, this is called engagement. This is what we want to do. There's no point of us actually just reciting and hearing it. No, I want you to now open up the Quran yourself if you're not used to it. Get open the Quran. Groups of 10s or groups of 5, groups of 5s between yourselves, get into the groups, have a translation. And Shaykh Talha, you already know Surah Fatihah. We're going to be opening Surah Fatihah. Open up Surah Fatihah, the very first chapter. Yeah, So we had Imam Muhammad recite Surah Al-Fatihah. Now we're going to engage. So we've said that the topic and the mawdu of the Quran is human being. So the very first chapter is very important as well. The very first chapter that he begins with is very important as well. It's not the very first revelation, but it's the first chapter of his book. Yes, so what I want you to do is read it in your group, read the tarjama, read the translation. The translation there, Tanim? Is that translation there? Yeah? So read the translation. Obviously it will be more or less the same, but read the translation, read the tarjama translation, and I'm going to ask you, this is the question you have to answer. What is the Quran answering in the very first chapter? What is the Quran answering? Using that Quran, using the very first chapter, what is it answering? That's what you have to find. So read it. I hear silence, so read it. So now discuss it. What is the Quran answering? Sisters as well, open. Yeah, yeah. Just wait until I'll give. The question that here is that what question is the Quran answering? From the first chapter you can get the answer. Yeah. Two more minutes. Abdullah, if you can put the slide on so they can see what they have to answer. Sisters as well, what is the question that the Quran is answering? Just one more minute, inshallah. Okay, if you can just finish off your conversation. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inshallah. Inshallah. So if you can just all stop there, pause there with the conversations, and we're going to go in groups one by one. We're going to get your answers. So you use a spokesperson in your group, and then please give your answers, inshallah. And remember, this is not a debate. Don't start. I can see there's intellectual debates happening. Now, we're not here to debate here. It's just an answer that we're trying to get to, inshallah. Okay?
Okay, can I have some quiet, please?
Okay. MashaAllah. Go on, we can, Aziz, but you just spoke, you shouldn't be speaking, should you? Go. You should get the youngsters to speak. Okay, go on, you'd be the spokesman. Go on, Aziz, go on. Go on, Aziz, you do it.
So we agreed in the group that the question the Surah Fatihah is answering is that Allah is telling us who He is, and also He's telling us that there is a form of accountability which you will have to answer for, from where it says Malik Yawmiddin, the Master of the Day of Judgment. So there is going to be a judgment. I am your Lord, and there is going to be a judgment and accountability.
Very good answer, mashallah. So that's one. So you're saying the whole of the Quran is now answering the question of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and accountability. Okay. This group over there, mashallah. So brilliant answers, fantastic answers.
We said that the Fatihah is Allah laying out what we need, and He starts with Him being what we need first and foremost. We also mentioned that it's a conversation as well. So the Fatihah is a conversation between you and Allah, written in the first person, and He's responding. And it's also divided in between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's guidance in terms of what we should be asking for, and there's also a response for those as well.
MashaAllah, very good. So what is the Quran answering then?
That we need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we should remember that we will be held accountable, and that we should put tawakkul on Allah through guidance, and that ultimately will be we shouldn't follow those who go astray and seeking as well.
She just did the tarjuma of the Quran. I'm astonished, Sheikh Talha, honestly. This is why they're from Solihull, that's what it is. This is why the unique, like Nelson, don't surprise me. Solihull, mashallah, mashallah, beautiful, mashallah. It's exceeded beyond bounds, honestly, mashallah. It's excellent, yes. We just wanted the whole tarjuma of Surah Fatihah, and Talha just did that, mashallah. Inshallah, bismillah. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. We also wrote an essay. But at the end of it, we settled on one question, which is, what is the purpose of mankind?
Beautiful, mashallah. As you see, very nice and condensed. I can hear the debates going on, mashallah. I was a bit worried actually. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but he did debate, but beautiful. So you're saying the question that is the Quran is answering is, what is the purpose of life? Yeah? Beautiful. Next group.
Okay, we think it is the purpose of life and the conversation between the human and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
MashaAllah, very good, mashallah.
So we were discussing that the Surah Fatihah is like setting the scene. Like if you imagine somebody who doesn't know anything, just coming out of the blue, has no guidance, and he's revealed to this verse, is setting the scene. Like, and the question it's answering is, who are you? Telling you about your Lord and your purpose, that you're in need of guidance, that your Lord is the one who guides and the one who who is merciful and Lord of the heavens and the worlds. So the question is answering is, who are you?
Okay, very good, mashallah. So the question that's answering is, who are you? Mashallah, that's what the group is saying. So we have this group over here.
Please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
So we believe the answer, the question the Quran is answering is, who is Allah in relation to us, and how we ask of him.
Beautiful, mashallah. Where are you from, by the way?
Ilford, London.
Mashallah. There you go, Talha, you know. Beautiful. Yeah, no. Don't migrate now. Don't, you know, there's no hijrah now. That's it. You are in Solihull. That's it, Solihull, that's it. You can kick it out. Yeah. Mashallah, next two, please.
We thought that it was who should we as human beings return to and who should we depend on.
Mashallah, beautiful.
Bismillah. So we actually read the question, so we won't give you an essay because you asked for a question.
Mashallah, Southerners. This is how Southerners are like. They're very
Straight
to the point.
And the question that we agreed on after a lot of deliberation is, what was it again?
So we're knowing here. Mashallah, this is wonderful.
The question that this surah is answering.
So you're not in agreement. That's why you forgot his answer, isn't it? Yes.
What is the relationship between human beings and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So how do we as human beings relate to Allah?
MashaAllah, that is wonderful answers. You've all given, apart from Ustadh Talha, he gave a full tarjama of the Surah Fatiha. That's all he's done, really. But you've all given valid and worthy answers, which is fantastic. I'm a little bit dumbfounded here is that the fact that, can I just quickly ask is this, for some of you, if you've always done this where you've actually, put your hand up, those who've actually read the whole Quran in English or the language that you understand fully. That is beautiful. That is good. So this interaction they're doing is good. This is what we should be doing. So here is that I've asked you a question, what the Quran is dealing with, was not fair. It wasn't fair. Because technically is that he actually took that response to himself. It wasn't fair because he knows that we are limited in knowledge, limited in understanding. We don't have the absolute knowledge that he has. So he absorbed that from me and you, and he said, I will give you it. And as you are saying, as Shaykh Talha was actually doing, is that he gave the Quran. But really, the question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is answering for me and you is guidance, ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. And this ihdina, guidance, whole guidance from Alif Lam Mim to all the way to An-Nas is the guidance that me and you are asking for. Because you've said, why is this so important? Because he knows that this, my servants will not know. They do not know. Because if we lift it, what do we want? What should we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I want money. I want wealth. I want comfort. I want fame. I want prestige. I want knowledge. I want wisdom. I want kada, 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 and so on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who knows me and you better than anyone else. So he is the one who said, oh my servants, this is what you should be asking me. So like Shaykh Talha was doing, he's given us a beautiful tarjama and also explanation is that at the beginning, by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after praising Allah and then humiliating yourself, making yourself nothing, that you praise Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, then you're actually honoring by Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, like Brother Aziz was saying, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. It is only you we ask for help. It is only you that we turn to. Iyyaka na'budu. It is only you that we worship, and it is only you who can actually help us. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. It is only you that we ask for help. After submitting and actually in full of humility, Allah SWT is saying is that my servants praise me, extol me, know that it is me, and then humble yourself, know that it is me who can actually help you. The thing that you should be asking me, O human being, is what? Ihdina. Guidance. Sirat al-Mustaqim. Guidance to the straight path. And then, Ya Rabbal Alameen, what is that path? That straight path. What is that straight path? That is what we're going to delve into now, inshallah Aziz. But before we start, we've already started. But before we delve into this, first thing what I want you to do is anytime, and always not just now, but anytime, is that if you want that guidance to open up to me and you, if you want Allah to open that guidance to me and you, like I mentioned the other day before about the cup being full, empty yourself. First and foremost, make intention. I want guidance. I'm not doing it so that I can argue with somebody. I'm not doing it so I can do this and that. No. Here is to really, really niyat of opening the Quran and we're opening the tarjuma is I want to know who I am, like the brother was saying. I want to know what is my purpose. I want to know how can I alleviate myself from this and this. I want to know who you are, Ya Rabbal Alameen. I want to know how I can be successful. Make niyat that I am doing this purely for your sake, Ya Rabbal Alameen. That this is your book of guidance, I'm doing it for your sake. Number two, there should be a want. Like I asked you, all of you at the beginning, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? Want, there's a want there. You want to achieve something. How can it be that you're opening this book, a kalam which is full of guidance? And like, which brother was saying is that they're giving the example at the summary of the Quran. Yeah, brother Bilal here is that he gave the whole of the summary of the Quran in Fatihah, and Surah Al-Fatihah is in Bismillah, Bismillah, and Ba, and the dot of Ba. So then Allah said is that all of this guidance is just in the dot of Ba. So it's guidance, jewels of guidance is unlimited. And yet still we go to this and approach the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without any want. That's strange. There's got to be talab. There's got to be a need. There's got to be a want in you. What is that you want? There has to be a want. There has to be a talab. Maybe you're going through something. Maybe you're feeling something. Maybe you're under pressure. Maybe you feel lost. Maybe you feel betrayed. Maybe somebody's hurt you. What does Allah say that I should be doing? That is what the book of guidance is. So there should be a want in you. How can I come close to Ya Rabbal Alameen? Number three, be empty. If you already know, there's no point. There's no point if you already know. I know already. I know the Quran. I already know. There's no point. You're full. So why should, like a great sage, you've heard the story of Imam Shazili and also Abdul Salam ibn Mashish, rahimahullah, from Maghrib. You've heard the story of how he was told to be empty, emptying himself. What happened is that, has anyone been to Titwan in Mawla Abdul Salam in Morocco? Those brothers say, okay, just so that you don't understand, a very, very, very high mountain. Very high mountain. Very, very long. It takes about 3 hours to get to the top by car, I think. That's something like this. It takes so long. And you might even start vomiting as the coach goes. So what happened is that right at the top of that mountain is where Mawla Abdul Salam is actually used to stay. He used to stay at right at the top of the mountain, away from all the world. So Imam Shazili, what happened was that he went there and he wanted guidance. He had a talab he wanted. He wanted to know and get more closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he heard that this person, this guy, can help him to achieve that closeness. So what happened was that he climbed that mountain by foot, not by car like we go, by foot. Imagine how long it would have taken, treacherous journey. And he went right to the top and he met and he thought, Alhamdulillah, at least I got to the top. He met the Shaykh and the Shaykh said, you need to leave everything behind you. He said, what, leave everything? Empty myself, leave everything, okay. What do I have? I have my bag and my rack. Okay, I'll go back down again. So he went back down, he left his bags, and he went back up again. So he went right at the top, all the way to the top. The Shaykh looked at him and said, yes, Sayyidi, I have now left my belongings. Now please guide me how I can achieve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, no, you need to leave everything behind you. Now he's perplexed, he's thinking, I left my bags, I left everything. I thought I've emptied myself, what's happened here? Maybe it means my clothes as well. So he even took most of his garments, and it's not, if you've been up a mountain, you know how cold it can get. So he took most of his garments off as well. Left his bags, most of the garments, just the basic necessity, which is covered in satar, he went with this and went back to the top. And I thought, I've done a great sacrifice here. I've left everything. I've done a great sacrifice. So when he went back to the top, imagine how tired, exhausted he is, but in the pursuit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll do anything. And this is why Imam Shazili was able to actually do this, not a problem for him. So he looked at the Imam, and he looked at Mullah Abdul Salam looked at the Imam and said, "You've not understood, have you?" So he had pity on him. He said, "Is that when I said leave everything, I mean is that leave everything that you know to the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, empty yourself from your heart, leave everything that you know." And then he gave the analogy that if you don't empty everything from your heart, it's like a book which has been filled with inscribed on. How can I write on that book which is already filled? So how can Allah's guidance come into our heart if we are full? We already know. So here Imam Shazili understood, me and you need to understand. When we want guidance, we need to be empty. If I already know, then you don't need it. You are on your own, you know, you've got the guidance. But if you know you're suffering, and you know that you're not actually getting out of this mess, this problem, these issues, you know you feel empty, you know you don't have that nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, empty your heart. Completely empty it. And be as though that you can be filled with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance. That is how we approach the Quran. These 3 steps is make intention, there should be a want, and be empty so that the guidance can enter your heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance can fill you. So now, next question. So this was the very first chapter we know is in the Quran. What's the very first word that was revealed upon the Prophet ﷺ? Find it in the Quran Majid that you have. Find it. Sisters as well, find it please. Also, some of the sisters, they gave the answer what the question Surah Al-Fatihah is answering. Some sisters said that establishing relation with our Creator, also purpose of life, an expectation between us and the Creator, and especially the Surah Al-Fatihah is the soul of the Quran. Some of these answers the sisters give, mashallah, beautiful. Now we've come to that. Now also, sisters, you find the very first word that was actually revealed upon the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, you found it? Yes? Right. Can you tell me what's the first word that was revealed? Iqra. Okay, no. Iqra. Go on. Yeah. 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 What is Iqra? What does it mean? You just told me, so I'm saying Iqra. You read as well. Yeah, just give the microphone.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق.
MashaAllah, very good. What translation how would you translate Iqra as? I know it's so easy because there's even a nice Arabic nasheed which actually plays for my little children. We won't go there, but Iqra, what does it mean? Everybody? You'd all say this is, what is it? Iqra, and it means? Sisters, what do you think? Yes, MashaAllah, sisters are very quick, they said read as well. Here we go. Everybody is saying Iqra means read, isn't it? Read, yes? Read. If it's the purpose was to read the Quran, then why are where we are? We've taken the meaning as reading. So you're reading now. You're reading. You do tilawat of the Quran, alhamdulillah, you're reading, you're reciting. Even if you want to say recite, recite. So if the order came iqra, read, so we've taken, oh read, okay, I'm going to read the Quran. So if we're supposed to just read the Quran, then why are we not changing? Hudan linnas, this book is for guidance for mankind. Why are we not changing? We're just reading. Why are the Huffaz not fully guided? They have the full Quran in them and they're reading everything. They should be the ones who are the most guided because they're reading. Isn't it? So if this means read, why is there no change? So brothers, why is there no change? Sisters, why is there no change? Just one second, I'm going to give it to a brother here. He's going to get the reputation back from Solihul, inshallah. Why are we not changing then?
Because we need to read by the name of Allah. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق.
Naam. Even okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman Iqra. Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. I've read now. I've read. Why is there no change? Go on, brother, in that group there. Go on.
Penetration.
It's not penetrating. Good, okay. Explain what you mean it's not penetrating.
Maybe we're not understanding it. That's what it's asking.
Don't be shy. I'm very old. I need a hearing aid as well sometimes. So
Maybe we're not understanding.
very good answer. Good. Anybody else here? Why we're not changing that? Bilal is here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I think the Quran, the Quran is the guidance, but following the Prophet ﷺ is learning how to bring that guidance into your life and live it.
Okay, good. No, what I'm saying is that the very first word was revealed was the very first ayah and word was revealed. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Okay, Iqra, and every single person we hear it when we translate Iqra is read, 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 and it's been into us that read the Quran, read the Quran, read the Quran. That's all we hear. Whoever you are, from all facets of life, from every group, from every age, they'll say, read the Quran. That is 100% true. Read the Quran. I'm reading it, but I'm not getting hidayah. I'm reading it, I'm struggling. I'm reading it, I still don't have the qurbaniyas Allah SWT. Some sisters are given answer, for example, Iqra, because we need to learn and apply, seek knowledge, implement knowledge, very good. Another sister was saying that we are not applying what we're learning. That is true as well. Another sister is saying is that full focus on the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why we're not benefiting. Anybody else? Why are we not? Yeah, Faryad?
Because we have our nafs as a barrier, and so we're veiled from the blessings of the Quran.
MashaAllah, very good, very good. Anyone else? Sah, very good. 1 second, go on. He's trying to get on Dad's good book, isn't it? That's what it is.
What was the question again?
Now you're getting the bad books, honestly. You're embarrassed. Rashid didn't even do that, honestly. Here we go. Here, Iqra.
Yeah.
We know it means read.
It means read, yes.
Yeah, and we read in the Quran. Why is it not changing us then?
It's not changing us. I think it's because of the rules that came further along. Like at the beginning of Surah Baqarah, there's a set items that you have to be in order to understand what's going on.
Okay, very good, mashallah, good answer. Yeah, brother Ibrahim, is it? Ibrahim, say.
I think there are many reasons as to why we're not changing. Firstly, we just leave it as a theory, so it's just a theory. We're not putting it into practice. So, for example, the Prophet ﷺ, he was a walking Quran. The theory was the Quran, and he was actually putting everything into practice. But we find ourselves not comprehending, not paying attention, not putting it into practice.
Good, beautiful answer. So basically, what we're saying here is that, as Akhana was saying, is that here, yes, being empty when you're reading, because what you have to appreciate that we're Ajmis. Basically, we're not Arabs. Alhamdulillah, the brother here is from Syria, and they understand the Quran. So as soon as they read, they understand. That is not an issue. Alhamdulillah. For me and you, we'll have to do a course and then go to Talha and Marwan and please teach us how to learn, so then we can understand the tarjuma, and then we can translate, and then we'll be able to. Or alternatively, we get a book of translation which is here, and we can read the translation. We can get some understanding. You're not ever going to get full, but you get some understanding, inshallah. So here is that when we translate the word Iqra means read, the Mufassirin they've written is that Iqra doesn't necessarily come in the meaning of, like a person said here, it's got multifaceted meaning here. It's not just Iqra bima'na to read, but also it comes in the meaning of learn, i'lam. And if you now put this, that the very first verses of the revelation was so important because it talks about the 5 entities that we need to actually know about. Knowing who you are, who Allah SWT is, who the creation are, how to achieve your purpose, what is your purpose. It actually deals in these Surah Alaq actually deals with that. The very first thing. So read it, first step is read. Obviously if you can't read, you're not going to know. Then when you read, come to learn it. Learn, and then what? Learn it. Once you learn it, you come to understand it. You need to delve and understand the meaning of it. There's no point that I've read it, that I come to learn it, that I read, for example, Ikra, or it means, okay, no what? Understand what's been said here. Don't just leave the book of guidance as just something you read and the tarjuma. No, you need to now ponder deeper. You need to actually go further and try to understand what Allah SWT is trying to tell me and you. Okay? So learn, understand, reflect, ponder on what has been said to me and you. Reflect on the ayah, reflect on the verses, reflect on the words. What is Allah SWT trying to tell me here that He wants me to do? What is the goal of this? Because I can assure you is that the miraculous of the Quran is that I can tell you is that whatever page you open up, you'll get guidance, definitely. Because the book of guidance, you'll get guidance if you have the right heart and the right mind to actually seek it. So here learning, learn, iqra, learn, i'lam, ifham, understand. What is it? Then reflect. Tafakkar is a ponder. Tadabbar and tafakkar is you should do, and then do amal. Implement those verses that Allah SWT revealed into your lives. Where Allah is ordering you to do something, do it. Where Allah is telling you to refrain from it. Where Allah is telling you about certain characteristics, refrain from it. Add it. Whatever it is. It's telling you there for a reason why those verses have been revealed. You need to start acting upon it. If you really want to be the walking, talking Quran, look at Prophet ﷺ, that's what they did. This is where I will not take the lightning from Ustadh Abdul Rahim. He will be talking and going through how you can become that. That is not our subject. So reflection, implementation, that is for another topic for someone else to actually discover, to delve into yourself, deliver to yourself. But here, the very first command from Allah, so the very first revelation, should I say, that was actually revealed upon us was Iqra, and we take the meaning as just to read, and that is what we're just reading. But if you understood really, Iqra was also meant not just read, but to i'lam, to learn, to understand, to act, to reflect, to ponder. It completely now breaks everything else, and it makes us understand, think that I have to now treat this differently. I have to treat this book differently. So let's engage. So we're engaging. Let's engage with the book of guidance, inshallah Aziz. So here, are you all feeling tired? Do you need a break? Are you sure? I'm not boring you, am I? No, are you sure? Okay, I got the answer. I'm not boring. That's fine. Miraculous of the Quran. No other book actually has this. What is it? There are many miracles in the Quran. Many miracles. But one of the unique facets of the Quran, one unique aspects of the Quran is that it's the only book, it's the only manual, it's the only guidance that you'll have that deals with what? The past, the present, and the future. We're talking now, remember the mawdu of the Quran was insan, was human being. Human beings of the past, the stories and all happened with them, all the different categories of people, the prophets, Pharaoh, all these categories of people of the past. What is happening to the people of the current state now, and what is going to happen, the consequences of the actions that they did in the past. So that why you can take heed of what the previous nations did, previous people did, take heed of that, the good and the bad, take heed of it. In your current situation, you may be going through that as well. So you need to see where you need to apply whatever that has happened in the past. So that then what happened to those people is that what he then gives you the result effect of those people, what they did in the past, and their actions, what they did, and their beliefs, and their attitudes, and their values. He tells you the consequences of that in the future in terms of heaven and hell. That is the uniqueness, the miraculous. No other book is there in the world actually has this. It deals with the past, it deals with the present, it deals with the future. It's timeless. It's timeless for me and you. What is it dealing about the past, present, and the future? This is what it's dealing with. If you want guidance, first and foremost, know where you came from, know where you are, know where you're going to go. Where did we come from? I believe it says Imam Muhammad will be dealing with this tomorrow as well. I'm just giving you the whole journey. It tells you the journey, life of man, life of human beings, because this is a book about human beings. Allah SWT has told us where we came from, where we are, where we're going to go, so that you can take action now. There's no point, because Allah SWT even says that, He said, when He actually took the covenants from me and you in the world of spirits, there are 3 promises that Allah SWT took from us in the world of spirits. It's in the Quran. 3 promises. Do you want to find them? Shall we find them? Anyone? Are you tired? Oh. Huh? Sheikh Talha, okay, first one. Where's the very first one? If you want to find it, actually, it's going to be too long then. You're going to be thinking. Inshallah, I'll leave that to Ustadh Sheikh Muhammad. He'll let you find them tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow he'll let you find them. But here there's 3 promises that me and you made. 3 promises that Allah SWT took from me and you. Do you know about this? You're oblivious, this is it. But Allah SWT is mentioning it because exactly what me and you are doing, so that when we come on the day of judgment, Allah SWT says that so that you don't come to the day of judgment and say, I didn't know about this. This is the very thing that Allah is saying, is that so that this is the uniqueness of the Quran, the miraculous of the Quran, is that it's telling you what will happen in future. It's only telling what me and you are going to be doing in the future if we behave like this. So if we come to Him, so He's saying that don't come to me. I'm already telling you now. I'm telling you what happened in the past because you're already saying that you don't know. I'm informing you now. These are the promises that you made to me, that I took from you, that you said you'll abide in this world so that you can attain the gift of paradise forever and ever. Because why? Me and you, now this is for you to be really, really happy about. Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh, they said is that really, our honorable teacher, this is something that we never understood really, but when they actually shed light to us, they said is that me and you should have said, we are princes, kings and princes of paradise. Yes, even if you're from Solihull, you are also kings and kings of paradise. What do you mean by that, Brother Qais? This is what we said. What do you mean? We're kings of paradise. They said is that when Allah SWT created the human spirits here, in the world of spirits, He didn't do anything. All we were doing were gazing and looking and absorbing the paradisal world. And we were marveled by it. And we said, Ya Rabbal Alameen, this is so amazing. Who is the creator of this paradise? Whoever created this paradise, he must be something even more wonderful. And we couldn't stop gazing. We were marveling at the paradisal world. And we said, we want to be there really. So Allah SWT said, is that you want this? I'm not paraphrasing everything that means you can understand. Is that Allah SWT is saying that you want this paradisal world? He said, yes, we want this. You really want this? Yes, we do. We'll do anything. Okay, you want to do anything? Right. Here, take this. I'm going to give you a gift. What's this gift? It's a gift of freedom of will. I have not given this gift to anybody else anywhere before. No other creation ever had this, apart from you and Jinnah. What is it? Is that you have the ability to believe in me or disbelieve in me. You have the ability to do good or to do bad. You have the ability to pray or not to pray. You have the ability to love me or to hate me. It's up to you. I've given you this limited ability that utilizing this freedom of will, I want you to show me that you want me and you want this paradise world. That you want me. If you want me with this freedom of will, this is yours. This belongs to you. We say, Ya Rabbi, yeah, give it us, we'll show you. Give it me and you. Yeah, we'll take it. That is why we're here. We now have to demonstrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala why He took a promise from us that He is our Lord, and we said, Ya Rabbi, you are our Lord. He took a promise that we will follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Messenger of Allah. He said, yes, Rabbi, we'll follow the Messenger of Allah. He took a promise from Surah Yasin, is that Alam ahad ilakum ya bani Adam alla ta'budu shaitan. Innahu lakum aduwwun mubin. That, O son of Adam, did I not take a promise of you that do not follow and do not obey, do not follow and worship the devil? 3 things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made clear to us with that promise. Who should we follow? Who should we believe? Who should we follow? Who we should not follow? With our freedom of will in the face of this earth. If we can do this, that we should believe and bring belief and follow the command of Allah. How to do that is to follow the Messenger of Allah, and what not to do is follow the footsteps of the devil, shaitan. Very simple, isn't it? That's all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to do on the face of this earth. If we can do that, that paradise world that we're all marveling is waiting for me and you. That's it. But why is it that we make things complicated? Why is it that we make things so murky, so clear? This is the beauty of Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh and the teaching, is that they make everything clear, remove all the obstacles, and they create a path for us, me and you, that we can just go straight and just follow it and you'll achieve your paradise. That is the beauty of their teaching. That is the beauty of their way. So here, this diagram in itself is all from the Quran. Teaching the Quran. World of spirits, now we're here in this world. Inshallah, I'll add something from for this world here. Then from this world, we go in the barzakh. However we lived in this world, however we tarried in this world, whether we utilize in the right way or wrong way, the freedom of will, we will have repercussions in the world of the grave, the world of barzakh. It's either pitfall of fire, garden of bliss, one or the other. Then until their judgment comes, when Israfil alayhi salam will blow the horn, their judgment, their resurrection will commence, and their judgment will start. Their judgment here, Pul Sirat, the bridge of Sirat we have to go through. People have to go through Pul Sirat, and so on. Accountability, our book of deeds, like you mentioned in the beginning, accountability, and all these things will happen in their judgment. Then the final decision. If your good deeds outweigh your bad, and if you died with Iman, you're in paradise forever and ever. And unfortunately, if our bad deeds outweigh our good deeds, even though we have Iman, unfortunately we have to enter hellfire for some time. And what Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh, they said, is that one of the reasons why people will be sent into hellfire is what? For expiation of sin. Because they've got sin, baggage of sin still left upon them. So they said is that, how do you want that sin to be taken off from you? Do you want the burning fire of hell to expiate your sin? Or do you not think it will be easy if you, in the world of this world, just do tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and change yourself? There's no angel coming with an iron rod. There's no heat which is 100 times more hotter than the sun burning you. Nothing there. So it's up to you. How do you want your sins to be expiated? Do you want to just do 2 rakat tawbah here and change your ways? Or do you want the blazing fire to actually purify you? It's up to me and you. Do your purification here or do your purification there? You decide. But it's a one-way journey. There's no second chance. Have you ever seen somebody coming from the dead? Even though there are Dr. Shah was mentioning the other day to us that there are people in the 1950s who have frozen their bodies. Wealthy people frozen their bodies, thinking that somebody will find technology to bring us back to life again. How unfortunate. When the soul is gone, it's gone. We don't know anybody. Yes, if Allah Subhanahu wills, He can do. We have stored in the Quran that is mentioned there. The people have lived. Allah Subhanahu, they said, how do you do this? How do you do the resurrection? We don't believe. He made people live for a whole lifetime, 100 years, some even 300 years, people of the cave. But let's go to the person who witnessed himself. He was frozen, and as you can see, witnessing in front of him, his family, the tribe, everybody being destroyed, dying, and the new tribe coming, new family coming, growing, and then he's brought back life again, and he's seen this is what happened. Allah Subhanahu's power, His qudra. It happens. But that's a miracle from Allah Subhanahu to teach me and you a lesson. But the norm is we all pass away and traverse to the next phase of our life, which is in the barzakh. So ask yourself, do I want the blazing fire to purify me, or do I want the mercy of Allah Subhanahu in this world when I turn to Him in forgiveness and I make intention to change, to purify me? Here. You need to decide. So here we'll leave it here for now. Have a short break for about 5 minutes. We'll come back at 3:35. Have a quick break, and inshallah these will recommence again. Inshallah. Have a quick break, inshallah. Yeah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم
Ten seconds. Brothers outside, upstairs, please make your way down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. MashaAllah, if everybody can now just get themselves in the right mindset again. These little breaks are just to, freshen you up, not to completely take your mind away from what was being discussed from the session. So inshallah, without further ado, I hand over back to Imam Qais.
Is everybody back? I think some have migrated already. And they've also migrated. I need you, listen, it's called engagement, so you need to engage with the Quran as well. So, okay, inshallah, you take a bit of a break, inshallah, let me do the talking, isn't it? It's not fair. Alhamdulillah, we've gone through the mawdu' of the Quran. We've also taken a bit of understanding of what the Quran is answering. So if you go back to the Quran and what is answering is that we've said is that ihdina sirata mustaqim, or Ya Rabbal Alameen, guide us. Guide us what? Sirata mustaqim. But what is sirata mustaqim? Now, as Ustadh Talha was mentioning and giving us a commentary on it, sirata mustaqim is what? There are three paths in Surah Fatihah it's mentioned right at the beginning. The sirata mustaqim. It says alladhina an'amta alayhim. So Allah says that you want to know sirata mustaqim? You want to know what it is? Sirata mustaqim is those an'amta alayhim whom I have favored. So here, Sirata Mustaqim are those people Allah SWT favored. There's another path he also mentions as well. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. There's a path in which Allah's anger and wrath is upon as well. And he's telling us that you don't want this path. But this is also a path. And then there's also a path, Walad Dallin. Walad Dallin is the path of whom? Gone astray. So there are three paths that me and you is in front of us, for me and you. One is the path in which Allah SWT is favored, that is Sirat Mustaqim. The path in which Allah's anger is upon, and the path in which people have gone astray. Now, we are talking about engaging in the Quran. Surah Fatihah is also telling us that we need guidance. We want guidance. Ya Rabbal, ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. Allah SWT is telling us, there are three paths, my servant. There is one path which my favor is upon, that is Sirat Mustaqim. Who are those? Allah will mention in a bit. There is a path in which people have achieved my anger, and there is a path in which people have gone astray. You need to ask yourself, which path are you on now? And which path do you want to be? So something for you to trigger your mind is that, where do you think, now be honest and genuine to yourself. I'm not going to come and say to you, what, brother, are you devil? Are you devil? Are you brother? Are you pious? No. You yourself need to ask that question to yourself. Which path are you on? Really, reality, what it is that, am I on Sirat Mustaqim? Is it really the case that Allah SWT is favoring me? Is it really the case that Allah SWT is angry with me? Is it really the case that Allah SWT has actually now really upset with me? Or is it the case that I'm displeasing Allah SWT and I've gone astray? What's happened? What are the qualities of these three paths? So who are the people who Allah SWT has favored? Who are those people? In Surah Nisa, in there it says that those are people whom Allah SWT has favored are those people whom is that Allah SWT has guided them through actions. Abdullah, I think I will need the charger cable, inshallah, if you got it. Are those whom min al-nabiyyin wa siddiqeen shuhada salihin. Allah SWT, those people who are guided by Allah through knowledge and action and sincerity, they are fully guided by Allah SWT because of the sincerity, they act upon the knowledge, they trust in Allah, and so on and so on. These are the prophets, the siddiqeen, the truthful, the shuhada, the martyrs, and the righteous, salihin. What is the characteristics? Obedience and righteousness. So if you think you're of the favored people, you're of that path of Sirat al-Mustaqim, you're the favored, is this quality in you? We're finding ourselves, this is what it says, is that we're trying to find ourselves. Ask yourself, is obedience and righteousness in me or not? Be honest with yourself. Is this in me or not? I need to be able to pinpoint if this is in me or not. If not, the charger's downstairs. If you go downstairs, you can get it from my laptop. Who have received his anger? غَيْرَ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ. We don't, Allah says that this is the path you want, the favor, not of the path who received my anger or who've gone astray. who've received Allah's anger. Who are those people? Those people, who are those who Allah is angry with? They know the truth, but they reject it willfully. They know the truth, but they reject it. They know this is right, but they still don't do it. They know this is what should be, they still don't do it. Completely. Go against it. Who are they? Those are the people in the Quran mentioned, those people who oppose and kill the prophets. I don't want to mention, but primarily the Jews are mentioned in the Quran who opposed, killed so many prophets that came. Hypocrites, munafiqeens. The hypocrites who pretend they're believers, but really they're just actually deceiving people. Fir'aun and the tyrants. Those are the people whom which Allah SWT angers upon. Ask yourself, here, what are their characteristics? Arrogance and rebellion. Is this my core characteristics in me? Is this my quality? If it is, I'm of this path. I am which Allah SWT angers upon. I need to now do tawbah and start turning towards back to Allah SWT. Otherwise, the consequences, you know what's happened to Fir'aun. You know what's happened to the tyrants. You know what happened to those people who did this zulm. You know the consequences because Allah is telling, remember, it's the past, the present, the future. I'm in the present now. If this is my quality, what's going to happen in the future is waiting for me. Wake up and realize the consequences. It's not just willy-nilly that we live in a life here. No, there's a reason. And the Quran is guiding, is the manual, is a book, is a manual. It should be navigating, like the brother was saying, it should be navigating my life in the right direction, the right way. So is this the core quality in me? Is this quality in me? Rebelliousness and arrogance. Is this what I am? Do I rebel? Those who've gone astray. Waladhalin is those who've gone astray. Confusion, murky. What is that? These people are, their quality are those who worship with sincerity. Those who worship with sincerity, but follow misguidance or out of ignorance. Follow the emotions, follow the whims, follow the desires. Well, I feel like this and I feel like that. I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. Self-directed people. I know better. This is the way it is. So who are they? Mostly here the Quran mentions the Christians who made Na'uzubillah Sayyidina Isa Islam God. Because out of such love they went to such extreme and they thought, yeah, it must be the case that he is something subhuman, so he must be God. Anyone who follows religion blindly, i.e. they don't know the basis of the deen, they don't try to find out the truth, they don't try to find out what is right, what is wrong, what is correct, not correct. They don't go to a teacher and find out if it's correct or not. They just willy-nilly, I think it's right, I think it's wrong. They don't have any knowledge, they don't have any guidance. Oh yeah, these are the people who are the biggest muftis and the biggest shuyukhs in the world. Now obviously, like I was saying the other day, is that we have to, unfortunately, Sheikh Google has lost his title to Mufti ChatGTP and Mufti Gemini and Mufti, now it's DeepSeek, I believe. DeepSeek, yes. I think Ustadh Abdul Rahim was mentioning that it's actually his Allama DeepSeek is even greater than the Mufti Akram. He's Allama, please. DeepSeek is Allama because he's even more knowledgeable and faster than ChatGTP and Gemini and all these other AI apps which is there. So what's happened is that people are now ChatGTPing everything and giving them fatwas. And this is very dangerous. Let me just tell you, it is useful. Everything is useful. You can use it like a lot of the things that we create is useful. But don't blindly follow that thing because it will be a mistake for you. I will tell you, categorically tell you is that if you do not know, they just need to put one line or one word and that takes you out of Islam. And you won't be none the wiser. Why? Here I'm just telling you that, okay, ChatGTP, can you give me the verse for this please and what's the ruling regarding this? You know the ruling. But if you don't know, it's dangerous. You know the ruling. Okay, the ruling is this. You read it, yes, that's correct. You read it again, wait a minute, why is this added there? This is not correct. The ChatGPT, this is wrong. Oh, sorry, yes, I should rectify this. This is why it's dangerous. So if you want fatwas, if you want rulings, don't lose the value and the weightiness and also the spectacular knowledge and wisdom that our ulama still possess. They're alive, they're physically alive. Go to them, ask them, have a chat with them instead of chat GTP. You want to chat? You like to have a chat? Chat with them. Speak to them. You want to know something? Ask them. What's happened to me and you is that either it's the fault of the ulamas or it's the fault of ourselves, one or the other, Allah knows best. Either ulamas have become so unreachable that people thinking, I can't go to them. They don't have time for me. If you try to see them, they're not there. Only come at this time. Or is it the case that the ulamas are there, we don't have time for them? We don't have time to actually go and see them and ask them to learn. We've got, for example, Sheikh Marwan, Sheikh Talwa, we've got Sheikh Imam Muhammad, we've got Dr. Sulman here and others. These are knowledgeable people. We should be at their feet and saying, teach me. But no. No, it's okay, we'll be sat here. So you also, but you go to ChatGPT, okay, what is the makhraj of this? What is the rules of this? What is the rules of, why don't you ask them? They have the knowledge. They'll also be able to maybe even give it you in a better way probably, a more precise way. Why don't you ask them, speak to them? Because then when you are asking ChatGPT, you are going to be understanding through your lenses. When you'll ask Sheikh Marwan, Sheikh Talwa, Imam Muhammad, Sheikh Sulaiman and others, they are now going to speak from their lenses and the understanding they have. What's better to rely upon theirs or mine? They have a better understanding. So this is the danger of AI, is that it will, and the good thing about ChatGPT and others is that they also are very good as well. They're good muftis as well. They say that after they give you a ruling, do consult a scholar. I am just an agent. Do please consult a scholar. Don't take this ruling for what is value. Do still consult them if you have further questions. I am still an AI agent. So they're very good at this. At least they're telling you as well. But it can be beneficial. You can use it for good purposes, etc., etc. So here is that those people who follow the religion blindly, self-directed, I know this, I feel like this, I know better, those are the people who go astray. Who go astray. What is their core qualities? Ignorance and emotional worship. I worship through emotion. I feel like doing this. I feel like praying. I feel like reading. I feel like doing that. Are we one of them? Is this our quality? So from this, now you should be able to summate which path am I on and which condition fits me the best. Ask yourself this question now to yourself, is that, am I really on Sirat al-Mustaqim? Do I have those qualities of the righteous, of the pious? Or have I got remnants of qualities of Sirat al-Dhalli or Sirat al-Maghdub? Do I have those qualities there? If so, what do I need to do then? You can't be, listen, we're finding ourselves here. You need to ask yourself this question, introspect. Ask, where am I? Which one of those am I? That Allah is telling me of these qualities in the Quran. Am I one of those people? Do I have this quality here? Again, let's go back. Is that, do I have this core quality of ignorance and emotion? Am I self-directed? Am I of those people who have arrogance and rebellion? Or am I of those people who are obedient and righteous? Which path am I on? Am I on Sirat Mustaqim? Or do I am sort of on Sirat Mustaqim, but I have remnants of this and a remnant of that. That won't do. Because why? If we go further, is that here, in Surah Fatihah, we've started by asking for guidance, and last one saying that these are the paths you need to have. Be aware of that. You need to be Sirat al-Mustaqim. You need to stay away from Sirat al-Dhalin and Maghdub. If that's the case, what if I am of Dhalin? What if I am of Maghdub? What do I do? That is the thing that you should be asking. What do I need to do? And if I am Sirat al-Mustaqim, is that it? Is there anything else I need to do? That is the thing you need to keep answering, keep that talab, keep that want, keep those questions in your heart when you're going in the Quran. Because you need to delve into the Quran. So now, that's the first element of finding ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses me and you directly and indirectly as well. What is the address? What is the mention? He calls me and you in two ways. One is, Ya ayyuhan nas. It's a direct intervention, a direct call to me and you. This is for everybody, whole of human being. Ya ayyuhan nas. Now I want you to take the Quran Majid again, because you're all falling asleep and you like to have to take this again in your groups again. You stay in whatever you're, but take the Quran Majid. This is a question for you. What is the very first command Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us in the Quran? What is, I give you a hint there, by the way. Find the very first command Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us, me and you. Yeah, just grab a copy. And sisters at home, what is the very first command Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives? The very first order that He gives. No chat GTP, by the way, you can't, that's cheating, brother. That's, look at that, look. That is so wrong. People got their phones out and they're already cheating. Honestly, no, you try and find out where it is. Hey? Astaghfirullah. I never gave, I said you can use it, but not like this. This is we're trying to interact with the Quran here, okay? Hey? The very first command, not revealed, the very first command that was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. I gave you a hint as well, by the way. I gave you a hint. If you listened carefully, I gave you a hint. Oh, find it in and get your Quran out. That's it. Go on. You should know anyway, Hafiz Sab. Hafiz Wasim. Don't overcomplicate it. Sheikh Talwa, you're making too much complicated. It's simple. It's simple. Simple. Oh, mashallah. Not that simple. First command, not the first revelation. First revelation, we already mentioned it. It's the first command in the Quran.
Rashid, are you not participating in a group? MashaAllah. Have you found it? Yeah? I'll give 3 more minutes. Sisters, have you found it? The sisters are complaining, you brothers are taking too long. They've already found it, apparently. So, brothers, please don't insult us. Come on, honestly. You're taking too long, the sisters are saying. So, they've already found it, apparently, they've said. One more minute, brothers. Sisters have already found it, apparently, they're saying, and I don't know, brothers, they're taking so long. Okay, if you can stop your deliberation now, and if you turn this way, we will now ask yourselves wonderful answers. I'm sure the sisters, if you can also give your answers, some have given some already. Forge your answers. And brothers, if you can start giving me your answers. Any group, put your hand. Okay.
Okay, we always love volunteers.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
MashaAllah. Which surah is that?
Surah Baqarah.
Okay, Surah Baqarah. Okay, very good. Anybody else? Oh, translation as well, please, if you can give the translation.
Not all of us speak Arabic.
Which one was it? Where is it? Okay. All mankind, worship your guardian Lord alone, who created you and those who were before you, that happily you may become righteous and God-fearing.
MashaAllah. Anybody else? Anybody else got a different answer? So now everybody's going to say same. No, I want different. It's not, I've never said that's the correct answer. So who said this?
So if they've got all the same answer, they've all went to chat GPT.
I'm sure they had a different answer here. No. We want to hear it. We want to hear your answer, inshallah.
We did actually conclude with that one, but we actually thought Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in was the first command, but it's phrased in the first person.
Yeah, I don't know how you got to that, honestly, but inshallah, you are from Solihull, so what can we do? What can we do? Brothers here, well, good try though, good. Have you got anything different? Okay, well, just 1 second.
We overheard Sheikh Talha discussing that, so we were looking.
You also said Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in as well.
We didn't agree, but we discussed it.
See the dangers of eardropping. Yeah, let's just do that. Sounds good. Yes, but
there is an implied imperative. قولوا إياك نعبد.
It'll be clear. It'll be wadi. Here is not clear wadi. This is where we're going to lead to interpretation.
No, you said it. You shouted it out.
He said he found it in Danish. He said to do dawah. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
can you not say in Danish, by yourself? Yeah.
Is get up to warn people. That's the first command, I think.
Okay, that's good. Have you got the verse though? So that's it. Okay.
There's a spokesman here.
I think we realise now that we were wrong, but
no. Why you keep changing it? Don't change.
What we said.
This is the whole point of this exercise is to find ourselves and finding our mistakes, finding our errors. Okay, there's nothing. Don't worry. Under this second is good. So it's good learning.
So we were the next ayah that says, "Do not knowingly make any rivals equal with Allah."
Okay, which verse is that and from where?
Verse 22.
Okay, very good. MashaAllah. And the groups? Got that?
We also had the ayah 21, 22, Surah Baqarah, because I did a quick Google search right in the beginning, just on autopilot. I didn't even mean to.
Autopilot.
But in case you meant it in order of revelation rather than of compilation, we thought it might be a trick question, and maybe.
I don't do trick questions. I'm very simple, honestly. Ustadh Majid to tell you, I don't do trick questions whatsoever.
Okay, so we thought maybe it's Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq as a command. Allahu A'lam.
Yeah, as some sisters have mentioned as well. No, in terms of that, yes, I understand where you're going from, where Iqra, and also I can understand what you're saying about Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in as well. But it's in terms of compilation, the Quran, what the very first command it is there.
Bismillah. So we came with the same ayah 21, but I had a reflection now when Sheikh Salman said something that could you argue that Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the ba here is attached to a hidden verb, which is to start in the name of Allah. Because usually it's abda'u, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You could argue maybe.
Exactly. Whatever,
like
everything reflection is brilliant. And yeah, 100% true. But this is what Allah says, Al-Hakim. He's all wise and he makes things easy. And if you now go through, because now let me just tell you that 100% you're right in the ba and what Sayyidina Ali and everybody have said this 100% correct. And what you're all saying is true as well. Your knowledge is far superior my knowledge, that's for sure anyway. But if a layman was to come and he opens the Quran, what have we just asked is that we start with Surah Al-Fatihah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Rahmanir Rahim. Where does the guidance start? Guidance doesn't start a Surah Al-Fatihah as such per se, although we're reading it. This is a dua. The whole entity is a dua and it's a request to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hence why you're reading this in Surah, every single salah, every single rakat. This is a supplication. This is a dua that you're making to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, guide me. Where does guidance start? Alif Lam Mim. It's from there all the way till Nas. And then in order to get guidance, we're going to be going away from there. In order to get guidance, tell me the meaning of Alif Lam Mim. Anybody, brother, sister, anybody? What's the meaning of Alif Lam Mim? The most common answer is, like was saying, Allah and His Messenger knows best. In other words, we don't know. As a sabak, that's a lesson Allah is giving me and you. Remember what I said before, be empty. You want guidance. The beginning of guidance comes when you say, I don't know. You want guidance. The very first ayah, the very first beginning of guidance, Alif Lam Mim, is telling me and you, oh my servant, empty yourself as if you don't know anything, then guidance will come to you. Alif Lam Mim, that's why he put that there. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ, definitely without a doubt. And there, here is that the common translation, this is all, the way in which Shaykh Ahmad al-Baghi explained to us is that ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. Normally, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ, this is the book, in it there's no doubt that the guidance for Dalil Muttaqeen. They said that if you translate it a different way, it gives a different meaning. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ is that here, if you open Surah Fatihah, Brother Tanim, and just do the Surah Baqarah, Surah ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, this is the common translation you'll get.
This is the book, and in it is guidance,
So
without
just stop
doubt.
there. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, in it, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This is a book, in it, without a doubt, is guidance. So Shaykh Ahmad al-Baghi said is that هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, they said is that if you put this هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, that yes, guidance, this book is a guidance, without a doubt, is really the people who are God-fearing, they will really benefit. It's a guidance, it will be a guidance for those people because why? If you further down Surah Baqarah, it says, يُدِلِّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. This Quran, people have been guided by it, also been misguided as well. But the muttaqeen are the ones who will be guided by it. Categorization, and we'll talk about funniest of the Quran. So here, everything Shaykh Marwan is saying is simple, but here if we go from the guidance point of view, what Allah is saying is that if you want guidance, it will be from Alif Lam Mim to all the way there. You're right, 100% you're right, is that there is a hidden thing there. This is all grammarian and this is all grammatical ways, etc., etc. We can go to, and 100% that is more nur and more light and ilm that you're actually manifesting, and it's a wisdom from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and take that on board. Here, if we go by the script, here, Alif Lam Mim ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, then Allah starts with these qualities. The Surah Baqarah starts with the qualities of the believers, qualities of the disbelievers, qualities of the munafiqeen, and then he goes on to explaining about this. Why he's telling, what is that very first verse he's saying? There, that يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ اعْبُدُوا رَبَّكُمْ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. There's a reason behind why he's chosen it there as well. Ya ayyuhan nas is not addressing Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. He's described the believers, he described the disbelievers, he's described the hypocrites, he described the characteristics. So he could have just said Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, but no. Because this is the book of guidance and you're at the beginning, he is addressing every single person. Ya ayyuhan nas, ittaqullah. Ya ayyuhan nas, ubadu rabbakum. Ya ayyuhan nas, worship your Lord. Ubudullah. Worship your Lord. Why should we worship? What's the point of worship? Why should we worship? See, I didn't want to make this into going to the Surah and like that. This is the thing is that here is that worship your Lord, but the reason why you should worship. Ya ayyuhan nasu ubudu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum. Because he is our Rabb. He is our nurturer. He is the one who what? He created me and you. That is why we should worship him. He deserves to be worshipped because he's the one who created me and you. So here he wants to do something called worship. And he's given the reason why should we worship is because he is the one who created me and you and those before me and you as well. And what's the purpose of worship? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. And we know what worship is. Worship is a means. And then, you know, all these other seminars you've been doing, explaining what worship is and so on and so on. We can go into that. Is the means what? So you can attain taqwa. And we're discussing what taqwa is. Fasting is also a means to attain taqwa, God consciousness, God wariness, and so on. So the very first command in the Quran is this. Ayat number 20, 21, as I said, 21 here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing every single person that they should worship Him and no one else. And they should actually worship. Why you should worship? Because I can say, why you? Why should we worship you, Rabbul Alameen? He's given the reason so that it satisfies your mind, because I'm the one who created those before you as well, in case you're wondering. But what's the purpose of worship? Why will I get from worship? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. That's the kernel of worship. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So that's the very first command Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given an instruction for actually making. He is addressing the whole of humanity. Not just Muslim, not just disbelievers, not just munafiqin, no, every single person, that you need to worship Him. That is the whole thing that He's mentioning in Surah Baqarah. And that's at the beginning. So there are mentioning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses humanity, and then He addresses Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. There's about 89 or so mentioning of Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in the Quran. There's about 20 or so mentioning of Ya ayyuhan nas. For probably there's about also the ratio between, let's say, if you say ratio, about 1:4 ratio. Roughly, I'm just saying. I chat GTP that, by the way. But anyway, here there's a ratio 1:4. I'm just saying roughly there's a ratio 1:4. Here is that predominantly there are instances when He addresses people in a collective, it has to be about something. And when He addresses Muslims, believers, it has to be about something. So we need to delve into that and find out what those things are. What is the difference when He addresses us, me and you, as a collective human beings? What is He trying to address? What is He trying to ask of us? What is He demanding of us? And when He's addressing us as believers, what is He addressing us with? Is it instruction? Is it a nawahi? Is it something to actually do something good, remove some evil? Is it to actually display character? What is it? What is He wanting from me and you? So the addressing or the mentioning of us in the Quran in this manner as ayyuhan nas or ayyuhalladhina amanu, the instruction will also be different. Anyhow, so we've got to the answer. Yes, the very first command. Yes, what you've all said is correct. What your answer is correct. And if you ponder deeper as well, in that you can also say this is also correct in terms of the fact that in a high level, meaning that yes, this is also be counted. But again, I'm saying here is that we are giving our analogy and opinions here. And I'm saying is that if a person, layman, was to just to open and see this is the very first command, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is demanding here. This is the first address that He's addressing me and you. First address, first command comes here, is here. It's simple. And I just need to worship Him. And He addressed, and with that one, believe it, one command, He's answered the question of who I am, who is my Rabb, and what my purpose is. With that one command. And it's right at the beginning, or near the beginning. After describing the qualities of different types of people, this is your purpose. This is how it's done. Such wisdom in the Quran that we can't even actually fathom, we can't even understand, and we are lacking. And you brothers have more, scholars have more wisdom than myself whatsoever. So here, how do I find myself? If we go back to here, is that how do I find myself in the Quran? That is the topic, by the way, I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm only just touching on it now. I do apologize. This is why I'm so boring. Okay, here, types of people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned types of people in the Quran, the conditions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has surahs, chapters, which we can actually find in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stories in the Quran, of stories of different prophets and messengers of people who, and the incidents that happen. He has different stories. He has parables. He has themes. If we go through one by one, we will find ourselves in there. And what I want to do today, hopefully, is give you the tools and equipment of how you can actually do that using these 5 things here. To give you the equipment, the tools that you can start engaging with the Quran and start finding yourself. So let's go into it. So if we go, this is actually, I know what you'll be thinking is that here from the theme, this is 5 themes which Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh actually summarized the whole of the Quran. They said that there are 5 underlining currents, themes that actually resonates in the Quran. And it's uniquely put. It's not like, for example, you got hypocrisy, truthfulness, or you got a theme of, let's say, arrogance, you got a theme of rebellion, you got a theme of happiness and joy, you got a theme of comfort. It's not like this. I have not found anyone put it like this in such a way that actually resonates and it's actually summarized in such a beautiful way than how it's put like this. First, they said is that one of the theme of the Quran, and you need to ask yourself is, am I the theme of these? We're talking about just themes of the Quran. We're trying to find ourselves. So here, first thing they said is that accept Allah as our Lord and we are His servants. Have I accepted this or not? Be honest and genuine with yourself. Is that, have I accepted Allah as my Lord and we are His servants? Sometimes we think, no. If I'm rebelling, have I really accepted this? If I'm not following, have I really accepted this? So find yourself. Allah sometimes is mentioned using the themes of He is our Lord and we are His servants. I just mentioned, Ya ayyuhan nas u'budu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. He is our Rabb, khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun, so that we can be God conscious. So have I really accepted Him as our Lord and we are His servants? Number 2, one of the current of the themes of the Quran is to accept the Prophet ﷺ as the last and final messenger and that we are His ummati. And you might be thinking, but Qais, what do you mean? Of course I do. I've done the shahada, of course I do. One is Allah SWT, we are His servants, that we accept that He is our Lord and we are His servants. The second thing is that we accept Rasul as the last and final messenger and we are His ummati. What do I mean by that is that there's responsibility and duties on our head if we accept that we are His ummatis. There's also responsibility and duties and also adab and conduct that is due that if we accept that He's the last and final messenger. Are we really reflective? Are we really accepting Him as the last? Or do we have other role models? Do we have other guys? Do we have other people that we follow? Are we really seeing that He is the last and final messenger who has brought us the Quran and guidance so that we can achieve Jannah and paradise and success? Or are we using other manuals? Are we helping Rasulullah convey this message because as the ummati, this is a responsibility due upon me and you, that we should reflect His teaching and pass it on to others? Are we doing that or not? Find yourself. Am I this? Through the themes of the Quran is accept that hereafter is our real abode in the dunya temple. Am I really just living the dunya and that's it and forgetting the akhirah? Am I one of those people through the themes of the Quran? Or am I actually making effort for the akhirah? The word that Shaykh Ahmad Abbas using, accept, look what they're saying. It's strange. The wording, accept this, accept the Prophet, accept, i.e. you should be acknowledging, accepting, but have we done it? That is the question you should be asking. And I'm not trying to degrade anybody or patronize anyone. I'm saying is be genuine yourself. This is about being truthful with yourself and really ask thought-provoking question within yourself is, have I really truly accepted this or not? Have I really truly accepted that the hereafter is my abode? If it was the case, why am I actually living this dunya as if there's no tomorrow? Why am I living like this? If I really accept, if I really believe that akhir is my abode. They said that accept shaitan is the cursed devil and that your real enemy, and he's your real enemy, and not to obey him. Have I acknowledged this, or am I befriending the devil? Am I making his life easy? Am I also doing his job? We should be helping Rasulullah in his mission, or am I helping the devil in his mission? What am I doing? And then to consider, this is, I think, very profound. The fifth one, Shaykh Ahmad Abbas, they've said is that consider good deeds beneficial only when I accept bad deeds are harmful. These are, if you were to really take time to digest, it's thought-provoking. Because it's a simple wording, but it's telling you, have you really done this or not? And this is what the Quran is telling. That's why it mentioned of deeds. If you do good deeds, you get this reward. If you bad deeds, if you have this, if you have that, if you come with this good deed, then you enter Jannah. Have I accepted a good deed to be beneficial? And it will only be that I accept that bad deeds is harmful. Because I know I'm doing good deeds, but I'm also doing bad deeds. But it's harming me. Have I not acknowledged that's harming me? Then why am I doing it? Utilize the themes to find if you are one of those people. If you're one of those. What time is Asr? It's 4:45? Yeah? Okay, we'll get through wherever we get through, inshallah, okay? Inshallah. Don't worry. Then the Quran outlines through categorization people that are believers, mu'minun, disbelievers, kafirun, munafiqun, salihun, fasiqun, shakirun, mutakabbirun, and there are more. I've only just outlined some characteristics here. We're trying to find yourself. You need to ask yourself is that, do I have any of these characteristics in me? Am I faithful? Am I righteous? Am I of the category of the mu'minun? Those who reject the truth, am I one of those who reject the truth outwardly? Am I one of those? Am I one of those people who pretend to believe but against the faith? Am I one of the hypocrites? I pretend I lie, I am this, but I do something opposite, especially when I'm alone. And you heard the hadith that Shaykh Ahmad Abad delivered to us that as a shocking, that resonated and stirred us inside when they mentioned about the hadith of those people who worship, who are in isolation, seclusion. In the front of people, they do certain acts, but when they're alone, they do something completely different. You've heard that, haven't you, the hadith where they take them with the Pulsirat, they'll take them to Jannah, show the door of Jannah, and then they'll be taken back and thrown into hellfire. Inshallah, you can listen to that another time. But am I a hypocrite? Ask yourself, is there nifaq in me? Am I of those righteous people which Allah mentions? Do I disobey Allah knowingly, and so on? So here, utilizing the characteristics or the character types Allah mentions in the Quran, and this is just some, there are more characteristics there. I've just given some. Which one are you? Are you a mixture? Are you one of them? What qualities do you have? Find yourself, you are there in the Quran. You can use the surahs, the chapters of the Quran. And I've just listed 10 surahs. There's all the surahs you can use, but I've just mentioned 10 surahs that you can actually use to find yourself in the Quran. Surah Al-Fatihah talks about different paths. Surah Baqarah talks about different characteristics of believers, disbelievers, and mu'mins. Surah Imran and so on. Surah Kahf talks about trials and tribulations. Let's look at Surah Kahf. Here in Surah Kahf, how we can use the surahs, for example, the summation of the Surah Kahf is that there are 4 major themes or lessons that is going through Surah Kahf. There's a lesson and trials of faith, of wealth, of knowledge and power. Now I'm trying to find myself is that, am I going through in difficulties? Am I going through trials? Am I going through problems? Am I going through any imtihan test I'm going through in life? Especially in terms of faith, in terms of wealth and knowledge and power. I turn to the surah, I find myself there, and what happens? Which of these trials am I going through that I'm struggling with, and find the solution for it? You are mentioned. So I can use the theme to find myself. I can use the characteristics, the characters of people Allah mentioned to find myself. I can even use the surahs, the summation surahs in there, the chapters in there to find myself. You are there because it's all about insan, human beings. Parables. What are parables? They're like stories and metaphors which give a rich, it's just like a lesson that you can take from it. He gives an analogy, a amthal that he gives, an example that you can use to reflect, to grow. So how to use the parables is understand the message behind the parables. That's what you have to do. Delve deeper into what it's trying to say. Let's take an example. Think of the parable, how did it apply to my life? Is there elements of my characteristics which actually resembles the characters in the story that has been mentioned? So what else? Let's take a parable of this. Example of a parable. Look, you see this beautiful, I know you're all fasting, but this is supposed a mango tree with wonderful mangoes, so beautiful, ripe, so luscious and green. Mango, mashallah. And Allah gives the parable of a good tree in Surah Ibrahim. What's the context? Allah compares the believer's actions to a good tree that bears fruit consistently. The roots are firmly planted. When your roots are firmly planted, it's going to give a good trunk and good branches, obviously. And the branch that would say this is a healthy tree and a fruit bearing tree as well. That's the analogy. That's the parable Allah has given. So what's the lesson for me and you? So we delve in deeper. Faith as root. Strong faith leads to continuous good deeds. Consistent goodness. A true belief results in persistent fruitful actions. Have I got true faith? Am I a good Muslim? Am I a true believer? Am I well planted in goodness that people can take my fruits and benefit from me? Or am I a barren tree that has no leaves? I can't give benefit to others. What am I? That's how you're going to use the parables. Using the parables, examine your faith deeply in your heart. Influence. What is influence action consistently? Reflect on whether your actions reflect your beliefs or whether you remain steadfast in these all conditions. That's how we can use the parable. Another example, for example, the spider's web. Allah SWT compares those who rely on false gods to the spider, which is weak and fragile. So it's about reliance. False reliance is weak. Reliance on anything other than Allah SWT is fragile and will ultimately lead to failure. Do I put my reliance on? How many times have we been betrayed? Let me just ask, put your hand up who's suffered betrayal here. MashaAllah. If you haven't, I don't know whether to say congratulations or a warning, something's coming for you, okay? But if you have, good. Brother Qais, what do you mean good? If you've suffered betrayal, good. Why? It's a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was telling you that why did you give such and such your heart and your tawakkul and your trust into that person, into that organization, into that being, when you should have given that to me. That's the example of the story of the spider's web. False reliance. Everything else will hurt you. If you super exceed what you're supposed to give, for example, husband and wife, this is not a betrayal event, I don't want to go there, but we've done a whole year and a half of seminars of betrayal, so we don't go there. But what ultimately is a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that why did you give your heart towards that person or that being? That heart was for me. I belong to you, and that heart was designed to love me alone and rely upon me alone. Why did you give that? And it deliberately showed when you give full everything towards that person, he will show you that really you shouldn't have given your heart towards that person like this, the way you have. You should be restrained. So what Shaykh Ahmad Abad explained is that in the inner, there's your heart, and the inner core should be just Allah. Nothing else. If you now mix anything into the inner core of the heart, it will Allah SWT automatically actually take you away from it. There'll be separation. And that's what's happened. You think, oh, that person betrayed. No, it's a gift from Allah SWT. It's because you gave your heart to something you're not supposed to. So this is how you use parables. Okay, stories in the Quran. I'm not going to be able to finish this, okay? So we're not going to even try to attempt to finish it, and so on. There's stories of the Quran you can use. Let's say, for example, you're going through different circumstances. Okay? Let's say, are you feeling lost? Are you feeling confused? How can I use the stories in the Quran to find myself? Okay. Are you going through hardship? Maybe you're feeling lost. You lost somebody. A death has come upon you. Or you lost a business. Or you lost a relationship. Whatever it is, you're feeling. And there are many other feelings, there are many other conditions you're going through. So how can you use the stories of the Quran? Here, let's say you're feeling lost and confused. The story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. And he's searching for guidance. What to do? The verses were Surah Taha, when he saw the fire and said to his family, stay here, indeed I have perceived, and so on. You can go there and read the chapters. So verses. It's like said that Musa sought light, knowledge and faith in times of confusion. Trust Allah to guide you. Okay, are you going through hardship? Look at the story of Sayyidina Ayyub alayhi salam. What did he do? And his patience in suffering. And there's a verse relating to it. What to do? Even in extreme suffering, what you should do, the lesson you should take, even in extreme suffering is temporary. Be patient, turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Are you experiencing loss? Sayyidina Yaqub, lost Sayyidina Yusuf. What happened? There's Surah Yusuf, they mentioned that I complained my suffering and my grief to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Express your pain to Allah and trust in His plan. So using the stories to relate to the condition, the experiences that you're going through to find yourself. Okay? This is a flow chart. We'll just quickly okay. Surah Fatiha. Okay? You go Surah Fatiha. We will try and finish it. Go on. Which path am I on? Are you on the favorite path? And the path of wrath? Or the path of stray? You need to decide which path. Okay, let's decide. Whichever path am I on, whichever path I'm on, does it align with my faith? Is it yes or a no? No? I struggle with obedience. Okay, let's go this way. I need guidance then. What do you need? Read Surah Kahf, example of misguided and guided. Do Tawbah, come back again, or read that chapter and find out more and more. Engage with the Quran. Find yourself in the Quran. Okay. Yes, my faith aligns, the path aligns with my faith. Yes, very good. What do I need to do? I want to improve though. I'm going to keep on improving. What do I do? Read Surah Baqarah. Look at the examples of believers. Look at the example of hypocrites. Make sure you don't have these characteristics and keep on improving. Okay. What do I need to do? In both those scenarios, ask yourself, am I feeling distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Even though, yes, I'm practicing, yeah, I'm doing, but am I distant? Am I going further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do I feel that distance, the hollowness? Yes? Okay. I am distant. I need hope and I need reconnection. What do I need to do? Read Surah Zumar. Never despair of Allah's mercy. There's hope there for you. No, then I need to act. I don't feel distant from Allah, but you need to act more. What do I need to do? Read Surah Saf. Establish more sincerity and striving for change. Okay? In both scenarios, when you come back, you need to do self-accountability and self-purification. Read Surah Hashr. And then take action, trace the believers, the Ibadur Rahman, read Surah Furqan. This is how you can find yourself in the Quran. Ask yourself those questions, posing questions. You can change these questions and navigate yourself. The navigation way to find yourself in the Quran. So my dear brothers and sisters, you've been listening for me for this time and I do apologize. Congratulations. We have now started to engage with the Quran. That is what we did today. Not in the bookshelf, not just memory, not just reading, we're engaging in finding ourselves. That is what we've done. That is what Allah wants us to do. But we leave it and thinking it's nothing. It's greater than this. This book is far greater than this. So now my dua is this, because the whole of this exercise was, Allah says, indeed we have sent down your book in which you are mentioned. Then will you not reason? You are mentioned in the Quran. Now your job is to go find yourself. So go find yourself in the Quran. And I end it here. Jazakumullah jaza. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Okay.
Yeah, just break up for us now, inshallah. Straight after Asr, we're going to be having our daily the workshop type of a scenario that we had with the halakas. We're in the same groups as yesterday. So let's have a freshen up for Asr for 4:45.
رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم